Decreasing your anxiety is one of the best things that you can do for your health and well-being. And one of the comments I get the most in real life is, Aya, you are so zen. How do you become so zen? And that is exactly what this video is about. Get ready with me while we talk about how to decrease anxiety, become more zen, and trust yourself. First thing, and this is something that I learned quite early on in life, is that you need to fully trust yourself, because at the end of the day, all that you have is yourself, and you need to know that you have your own back. So let's say that you make a decision. You need to be able to defend why you made that decision and take accountability for that decision. When you have full trust in your ability to make decisions, you will feel much more confident in who you are as a person, and that in fact does lead to you being more zen. It's quite funny how tied together confidence and calmness are, but if you think about it, it does make sense, because the more confident that you are, you're not overthinking the small things. You're not overthinking how you look or your decisions or how you speak or your actions and stuff like that. So really working on confidence is a huge thing that ties into you being less anxious of a person. Second thing is continuing to educate yourself on what it means to be human. I love doing that through reading. Right now I'm reading this book by Jung, Modern Man in Search of a Soul. I also love Brené Brown as an entry level for anyone that's interested in psychology and the human condition. But essentially, once you are more comfortable with the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of what it means to be human, you are more okay and comfortable in the uncertainty of what life is. One of the things that social media has done is made us feel like we need to be extremely unique in comparison to other people. But the truth is, all of us are human, and that should be something that we strive for, to be more human, not necessarily to be more unique. And what do I mean by that? Because there are definitely some circumstances where being unique is super important, being true to yourself. But when you listen to other humans and their experiences and their opinions and all of these things, it makes you relate to them and realize that you are not so alone in the way that you view life and the way that you go through life. I remember reading a book in undergrad. I think it was called something like The End of the Age of Average. And what it spoke about was how back in the day, everyone wanted to be average. Being average meant that you can afford a house, meant that you could have children, get them educated, have a job, etc., etc. Whereas nowadays we've moved into a zone where nobody wants to be average anymore, because average is looked at as a negative thing. But in fact, that's not the case whatsoever. Being average is such a positive thing in today's world. So when the question comes up, like, do you want to be extraordinary? Sure, I do want to be extraordinary in some ways, but I also want to be as human as it gets in other ways. And I think that's the piece that's missing from a lot of people's perspective nowadays. Now I've kind of gone on a tangent, but I'm saying all of this just to say that relating to other people's experiences will make you feel less alone. And when you feel less alone, you feel more calmness in your heart and more peace about life. You really need to figure out where your anxiety is stemming from. For a lot of people, it's work, it's family, it's school. Essentially, once you're able to find and pinpoint the source of anxiety, then you can begin to create treatment plans in order to address them and coping mechanisms in order to avoid them. My favorite coping mechanism when it comes to anxiety, of course I feel anxiety every now and again, is definitely exercise. I'm a big yogi and I'm a big runner in the summertime. Those two things help me immensely when it comes to any feelings of anxiety or uncertainty. Some mascara and be right back. I'm not very good at talking and doing mascara at the same time. The last thing I'm going to share today is the importance of being honest with yourself. One of the worst things that you can do for your mental health is being dishonest to yourself through self-deception. When you have a heart-to-heart with yourself and are completely ruthlessly honest about what you want to improve, what you enjoy about yourself, what you don't, through all facets of life, that is when you will begin to fully trust yourself. And that is what you need to work on in order to truly find peace in your life. Being at peace with yourself is something that you can do without the resources or anything like that, that you can integrate practices into your daily life that will 100% increase your quality of life and make you a happier, healthier person. At the end of the day, any kind of stress will increase cortisol in your body, which is our stress hormone, and the body does not do well with cortisol. Us humans were made, built, and bred for connection, so do not underestimate the power of community. And at the end of the day, trust yourself. You always should have your own back. I love you all so much. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Bye.